This is me, whether you like it or not. Quick to talk and if I change, then it will be for the better. No apology, so don't expect a letter. Don't.
This is me, whether you like it or not. Quick to talk, but you do not do a lot. If I change, then it will be for the better. No apology.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. That was a little entertainment from us. As you can tell, we have beautiful voices. Thank you for joining me once again on this beautiful Tuesday. I am with my beautiful friend Tandy. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Tandy. I am Mwaka's friend.
Yeah, we've known each other since before we had boobies. Anyway, so today I am very excited because we are pretty much the same age and we wanted to talk about something that a lot of people neglect to tell you. I wish someone told us this. The 20s are not easy, guys. I thought adolescence was like the hardest part of life. No. The 20s is like adolescence
on steroids.
Adolescence on steroids. So in today's video, we just wanted to share with you things that they don't tell you about the 20s, the roaring 20s. Now, for those of you who are in your 20s, hopefully you can get a few tips from this. For those of you who are not yet in your 20s, pay attention, okay? It is rough out there. And for those of you who are past 20, you will still relate to this video and share it perhaps with your friends and your family members who are in their 20s or approaching their 20s. A bit of a disclaimer, this video is a little bit longer than my usual videos, but I promise you it is worth it. So please just watch it to the very end. You will not regret it. Okay, now before we get right into it, I would just like you to share a little bit about yourself. Tell us about yourself, what you do, what are your likes, your dislikes, and so on and so forth.
Oh, okay.
Action.
All right. Hi again. Okay, so I'm typically a very, very clumsy, happy person. I have an 8 to 5 job, and then I also run a business which I call Tandy's Trend. You can find me on Instagram, and I have a page on Facebook as well. Yeah. So that's me when it comes to jobs. And then
all good. So she's my friend and everything, my sister, my confidant, my everything.
But like if I describe myself, I'll be describing you. So
yeah, pretty much. We're both clumsy. We're both bunnies on steroids.
Even
too much energy, and we bite. So yeah,
that's
not a good combination. But have we ever argued? No.
No, actually, is that okay?
I don't know. I feel like people.
No, we really understand each other. Like communication skills is like really deep.
We're telepathic.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even have to talk. We'll be like, you hurt me. I'm sorry. Okay.
Today's the day.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get right into the video. Things they don't tell you about your 20s.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So the first thing they don't tell you about your 20s, stop comparing yourself to others.
That one. That one.
Yeah,
I don't even know like where to start from. I think it even starts from when we're hitting puberty, the adolescent stage.
Yeah.
Because we always have, we're being taught to do this, and then we have all these role models we want to look up to.
Yeah.
And then we don't know who we are.
Exactly. And most times we like to compare ourselves to others because we feel like there's a specific timeline for everything. So it's like, go to high school, graduate, go to college. When you're done with that, get married, have kids. So if you reach a certain age, say after you graduate university or college, and you find that you're not getting married or you don't have kids or you don't have a job years after graduating, then you start to feel bad about yourself. You go on social media and you see all these people posting pictures of their perfect life and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm such a loser. So I feel like if you compare yourself to other people, you'll be so miserable.
Very much.
Yeah.
Because, every single person's life is their own journey, and you have your own journey as well.
Exactly.
So, and social media is literally less than a second of somebody's life. So what do you know about 24 hours of their lives?
Right.
You don't know what's happening behind those cameras and these smiles.
Maybe they even faked it. They're just like, sad. On the camera, back to being sad.
Oh, I've actually witnessed a lot of that happening with people, like seriously. So when it comes to comparing yourself, I feel like we sell ourselves short because our potential as people is way more than we can actually imagine. So
Yeah.
if you actually concentrate on being yourself and actually work on that entirely in your own space, in your own time, in your own everything on your own, it's actually way better. And then you actually even find yourself even blowing up more than the people that you actually idolize.
Do not feel ashamed that you're not reaching a certain place like other people. Everyone has their own time, okay? Your time will come. The next thing that they tell you, that they don't tell you about your 20s, is not everyone works in the industry that they studied for. This, guys, you know, a lot of people go to school or college or uni, whatever, to study a specific field. Others want to do economics, others want to practice teaching, others want to do medicine. But then when you graduate, by the time you graduate, you've experienced so many things in school that it sort of changes your perspective of what you want in life. So if you're going to school wanting to be a teacher, by the time you graduate, you realize, you know what, maybe this isn't for me, I'm going to be a blogger. And I've seen that a lot. She's a perfect example.
I have a perfect example. I was in humanities, but my passion, you know, I love my 8 to 5 job because I learned to love it. When I was actually starting out, I had no idea my job existed. And there's actually a whole thing about it, like it's a whole industry, but I had no idea that it existed. And then I was pushed into this industry and I didn't know what I was doing. Later on, I learned to love it as I went on, interacting with people, helping people. But then my passion has always been creativity. So I've been writing, I've been designing, I've been doing all these other things, and that's where my heart really is. But then you find yourself working in another situation. If you're lucky like me, you end up loving it. But then if you're not, you just end up being miserable. Immediately you enter your workspace, it's just like, why again?
On this day, do I need this job? Oh, I have bills. Never mind.
There comes even the quarter life crisis because of that. One, you made a mistake when you were choosing the course you were choosing because your father did that, or your mother, or your neighbor, or your brother, or everybody in your family is doing this same particular thing. So even you go there. So even while you're learning in school, you're learning to pass. Then when you pass, you have this degree or diploma or certificate, and you're just like,
what to do with it.
Okay, and then they tell you, oh, you have to apply in this job, and then the way the unemployment situation is, you apply everywhere.
Exactly. So whichever job you get, you work for it, you learn well as you do the job. And I do know a lot of our friends actually. Some have studied accounting, but they end up being a blogger on hair and skincare and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, if you haven't reached your 20s yet and you don't know what you want to study, I think you need to start finding yourself now. Know what you want, follow your passion, and then work towards it. Because if you do something because you're told to do it or because you don't know what to do, you will end up being miserable. I know a lot of people who end up in jobs that they hate because it's not their passion. And in your 20s, it's really just a journey of finding yourself and being comfortable with yourself. So if you end up wasting your 20s without having to find yourself, you will find that in the 30s, you're miserable, you don't know what to do with yourself. In the 40s, you're this lost cause. So it's really just about finding yourself. 20s, spend your 20s finding yourself. And this brings me to the next point. Some of you may not like this. Spend at least 1 or 2 years single.
But how? I'm a social being.
I love to date. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
To be loved.
We love love. Love is important, but you need to spend time on your own.
You actually have to date yourself.
Yes, date yourself.
Be in a relationship with yourself.
Pamper yourself. The thing is, when we're in relationships, a lot of times we spend our catering to the other person. Yes, you take a percentage of your time to yourself, if it's 80, if it's 20, if it's 50. But on the other side of the coin, you will find that you have to spend time knowing this other person, knowing how to make them happy, knowing what makes them angry, knowing how to take care of them when they're sick, when they need something. So all of that effort that you spend learning about someone and catering to someone, if you don't give yourself time to know yourself or to love yourself, then you will be you'll be so deep in this relationship trying to please this person, and half the time
losing yourself.
Exactly. Half the time you find that maybe even the person doesn't return the favor, and you're always miserable because you're just like, oh my gosh, he's not happy that I didn't do this, blah 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 blah. But if you know yourself, you just be like, you know what, I'll give him time, let him breathe, and then you get back into it. Then you sit down and talk about your problems. So just spend time in your 20s. If it's a year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years, it's fine. Don't be ashamed that you can't find anyone to love you. I mean, finding a relationship can be easy, but if you don't love yourself first, that relationship will be a train wreck.
Yep. And this is a discussion that I was actually having the other day. I was like, you actually, when you date somebody, you are in a throuple, you know, that whole situation which they have in other cultures where they can have partners who are 3 of them instead of 2. Well, that's something. But yeah, so it's like you have to have a relationship with yourself. That's the most important, the core relationship. And then now when you have a relationship with somebody else, it doesn't take away from what you have. And then this person will entirely love you for who you are, because you are not moved. You are in a stable relationship with yourself. Now, if you come in unstable, you don't know exactly what's happening, they can easily sway you. And you know, this is actually something that actually happens when somebody sways you so much that you become like them. Yeah. Then they're not interested anymore. It's like they're dating themselves. So you're 2 individuals and you are creating a partnership. The relationship is not an individual. It's a partnership. They're 2 individuals, partnership. So if you don't know yourself and your partner doesn't know themselves, then you end up now being toxic to each other.
I know.
Yeah.
And there's also a saying, like, if you can't love yourself, how are you supposed to love someone else?
It's even in the Bible.
So do let me know in the comment section below right now if you can relate to any of these things that we've said so far. Do let us know. Also, if there are any other experiences that you know about your 20s that you wish someone had told you before, do let me know in the comment section below.
We're still learning. We're still in our 20s.
I know. It's like a journey. Like you're constantly learning. Deep breath. Okay. This next point, and it sort of relates to the last one, is don't date on potential. Guys, my God.
I feel personally attacked.
Bruh, you know that saying that love is blind? It is true. Okay? It is true, guys. Love is blind. If your friends tell you that this guy is not the one, listen to them. They are seeing for you what you can't see. Because the thing is,
advice is so important.
It is.
Other people's perspective.
Yeah. So, you know, many times, I'll give a perfect example of myself. No names mentioned. If you're watching this, sorry. No. Anyway, so, you know, when you're with someone and you think that they're going to get better and whatnot, no. Okay? And the worst part is this person is still finding themselves. They still don't know what they want in life. They still don't know what their goals and aspirations are. If you meet such a person, just let them be on their own. Everybody has a journey. Everyone has to find themselves before finding someone else. So if someone comes to you and like, no, I have this business idea, I'm going to make it one day, or I have this and this and that, and no, guys, like at the end of the day, you really have to study someone. If they're always just talking and saying they're going to do something, but they're not actually putting in the work, it's never going to happen. So just let them find themselves. You will find someone eventually, but you know, at the end of the day, just this whole potential thing, it ends there. It's just potential.
You know, like, it's okay to support your partner. It's awesome actually and everything, but when they actually have a vision that they are working on, not where they have an idea of a vision. You understand, an idea of a vision. Maybe they saw their brother or their friend or some person in the then they're like, even me, I'll make it like that person, but then that vision is unrealistic. You have to be able to tell a person, and they have to be open and mature enough to be able to hear you.
I mean, it's not to say that you shouldn't be with someone because they're not established in life, but you should be able to tell that in 5, 6 years, or even 1 year, 2 years, this person is going to move to another level and they will not stay the same. But you can always tell that this one...
people have wasted the whole lot of the decade of the 20s trying to boost a person, trying to help them.
Someone else. Someone else's son. You're raising someone else's child. Like, bruh, that was your mother's job. I am here to be your girlfriend or your future wife, not your mother. Okay? And the other thing about do not date on potential is potential in marriage. Now, most of the times when you date someone, obviously you're hoping to spend the rest of your life with them, but don't go into a relationship with marriage as the end goal. Just say, okay, you know what, this is the person I'm going to marry. Even if things aren't working out, you're like, you know what, I'm going to marry them, so I'm going to force things. You will end up being miserable. And usually guys know in the first few months,
whether they want you forever or not.
Exactly. So you should be able to tell by his actions, by his words, that this person is here for the long run. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But this person is definitely going to waste your time. Where you try to talk about the future, or even just, I don't know, things that will solidify a relationship. They always seem to run away from that. So
like, I can even give myself as an example. I come from a background where my mom told me my first kiss is on my wedding day at the altar. So immediately when you're growing up like that, when you reach a situation where you're dating somebody, and then you kiss this person, you're like, hey, there's nobody else. This is the one I'm marrying. But you are not thinking about, do you love them? Do they love you? Do they love you the way you deserve to be loved?
Do they respect you?
Exactly. But then you're just like, no, by the time I'm reaching this age, I need to be able to be married, and then I need to be able to have kids by this age and this age. And then now you're dating that potential to be married. You're not really dating the person, and you're not actually adding on anything to yourself.
And the thing about being married to someone is it's a partnership. You guys have to be best friends first. That's why it's always encouraged that you befriend someone before you actually start to date them. Because imagine you're going to spend the rest of your life with this person and you already have reservations. You're just like, no, it's not going to get easier. Marriage is, I hear that marriage is hard. So at least if you're going to suffer with someone in marriage,
at least you should laugh about it. Like, oh, we don't have sugar. Oh my God. What are we gonna do about that? I don't know, but we'll make a plan. Okay, but tea isn't bad without sugar. Okay for today. Now, if you're not able to do that, it's like there's no sugar at home. Now you want me to do what?
And you end up fighting over silly things.
Very silly things.
Which brings us to the next point. It's okay to get married and have kids after 30. So if you don't get married in your 20s, it's okay. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel depressed. Your time will come. Because if anything, if you become desperate for marriage, but you're like, I have to get married before 30, you will end up marrying the wrong person
and divorce.
Or you can marry the right person, but because you're both not ready for each other at that time, you will end up being miserable, and then you just end up leaving a bitter taste in each other's mouth. That's why you find there are some stories where people get married, they divorce, do whatever, and then years later they come back and get married, and it works out. Why? It's all about doing things at the right time. Don't bother what's happening on social media, people posting their wedding, that dress, that decor. I also want this now.
I want it now.
You will be miserable. And it is depressing when you focus on other people's journeys than your own.
It's actually, it takes away energy from all angles of your life. Religiously, spiritually, it drains you, because you're not going to be able to actually sit down and worship or ask for things, because all you're thinking about is this one particular small situation. Exactly. Mentally, because you have to, sometimes you have to lower your standards just so that you are able to, and then if you lower your standards mentally, that's just going to really tear you apart, because you're going to keep thinking I can do better. Even if you don't say it out loud, you're thinking it, boy or girl. And then we have also emotionally. Like, it's because the person won't be meeting you either halfway, or you'll be either the one who's going to be going all the way. You'll be the one who's showing all the love, and this person's just receiving. Like, they want to marry me yes anyway. So what am I gonna do? Like, they're already settled. So whether you're a guy or a girl in that situation, emotionally, it's draining.
This also leads me to the next point about what they don't tell you about your 20s: mental health issues. I don't know how many people I know in the 20s who are either depressed, who have anxiety attacks, who are always, going through stages of uncertainty. Now,
a lot.
The 20s is a very, very confusing time.
You're expected to be an adult, but then you're not sure if you're really ready for it.
You don't know if you're too old to do certain things or too young to do certain things. It's a very confusing time, because you're getting towards a point where you have to be established in life. If it's maybe having your own successful business, you have a family that you have to raise. It's very scary, because you don't know what the future holds. And so most of us in our 20s spend time worrying about the future. We spend time investing for the future. Like, I need to save money for my future. I need to keep myself healthy when I have kids so that I'm able to take care of them. I need to do this and this and that for my husband, for my wife. I need to do this and this and that for my future, everything, like everything to do with the future.
Yeah.
And because of that, a lot of us do get depressed, which is relating to the first point of comparing yourselves to others. We always look at what everyone else is going through and we think, why isn't this happening for me? When am I going to get my breakthrough? And then you just end up being so miserable in your job, you end up being miserable at home, you end up being miserable at church, you end up being miserable with your friends because you feel like you're not getting to where you're getting to.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
And you're comparing your whole life to someone's good parts of their life. You have no idea how many times people who we consider very successful have failed. When we still keep comparing ourselves to those good elements or the success of our people of other people, without actually comparing ourselves, if we have to compare completely on everything, even their failures and everything, then you'll be able to say, like, actually I'm okay. Because when it comes to business, they say actually it takes about 5 to 10 years for you to actually get a sensible profit. So how, when you started your business at 24, how do you expect yourself to be successful within 6 months?
It's a lot of sacrifice. And I feel like during this time, you really, really need to take care of your mental health. Whatever mental issues you're going through, first of all, know that it is okay. It's okay to not be okay. This is not something to be ashamed of, first of all. Secondly, once you identify what you're going through, what's causing your mental health issues, if it's depression, if it's anxiety,
your triggers.
Exactly. Find out what your triggers are and then, tackle them head on.
It's about being messy. There's nothing pretty about finding yourself. You are going to see some really horrible, dark, disgusting things.
Exactly.
And you have to be able to accept that this is actually part of me.
This is me, whether you like it or not. It is. And everybody has problems in life. You cannot have sunshine without rain. So when you have something good going on, just know that there's something that will sort of counter that. But don't think of problems as something bad. Think of problems as opportunities.
Exactly.
When you have a problem, it's an opportunity for you to grow. It's an opportunity for you to learn how to solve that problem. So please, guys, in your 20s, even before and after,
give yourself a break.
Give yourself a break. Pat yourself on the back. It's okay.
Like, you woke
Love
up
yourself.
today.
Hug yourself.
You woke up today.
We did. We made it. We got out of bed even if it was cold. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
It's like what our mothers always taught us. When you're cooking, wash the dishes.
Yeah.
So you're preparing something beautiful, but obviously there's the dirt. So you keep washing and cooking, washing. By the end of the time, when you are now enjoying your food, there'll be no dishes in the sink for you to clean after. Just take it like that. That's what your 20s are. So while you're working on yourself, there will be all that craziness. You have to deal with that craziness as well. You don't postpone it because it just keeps piling up, and then one day you trip over that carpet, child. You trip and you break your teeth, and then you'll be a 40-year-old man without any teeth, or 40-year-old woman, and it's just gonna be sad.
You have to know that the decisions you make today will affect you in future. So that 60-year-old version of yourself is like, bruh, please just don't do this. Don't do this. Do not fall into peer pressure. Do not make decisions that you will regret. Do not live in the now. I mean, yes, it's okay to be self-aware and enjoy the present, but at the end of the day, you also have to think about your actions today and how they will affect your future.
Yeah, because the more that you're going to work on yourself right now, then you don't have to worry about your future actually.
Yeah. Moving on to the next point, and this is something that I also wish I was told as a teenager. Unfortunately, in our schools, they don't tell us these things. Well, some schools tell you this, but in a lot of our schools, they don't talk about the realities of life. And the point I'm trying to make is save.
Ooh.
Don't buy rubbish, guys. There's many times I would walk into a store and I'd be like, oh, that is so pretty. And then I buy it. And when I go home and look at it, I think to myself, why did I get it? I don't need it. It's okay to splurge every once in a while, but always be conscious about your future. Do not buy things that will not help you. If it's not a need, if it's a want, no.
There's a situation which is called mad money.
Yeah.
where women usually have this situation. I feel like women need to save more than men.
Exactly. You know, men and women have different needs.
Very much.
So with men, they can survive if they just have a meal and they're good. They don't have to go anywhere, so they don't need transport money. They don't have, if it's a haircut that's needed, they can survive. Just comb your hair if you
like
have an
10
afro.
kwacha.
But yeah, but what is it?
Cutting hair is like 10 kwacha.
Wait, haircuts these days are expensive.
25? What is expensive?
100.
And then with a woman,
Bruh. Things are
our hair is
now.
like 500 just for plating, not for the other things.
But then if you look at even just necessities, women always have to have money stashed aside. So, you know, you have your monthly issues, so you need sanitary pads. Those are not cheap, bruh. Some people can't even afford that. And then there's also issues of we need our vitamins, your vitamin E, your folic acid, because you need to supplement.
Our body is not boring.
Exactly.
Our body entertains itself without our permission, and it needs to be it needs to be quenched, and it needs the money.
Exactly.
So there's nothing that we can do about it.
So just the biological makeup of a woman alone makes us need money more than men do.
Yeah.
Now imagine you're a person who is not very good at saving. You spend, and then a time comes when you actually need something. You know, you're having your monthlies, and then you can't afford to buy pads.
The cravings even just iron deficiency,
Chocolate.
craving for your
You know, all these cravings we have, it's not because it's just no, we crave
hormones.
because your body is lacking something. Now the thing is, if you don't have the money to buy what you need, this then forces you to end up outsourcing that money. And some people are even now forced to have sugar daddies because they have needs that they can't cater to. And that's why it's always important, if you have extra money on the side, keep it for emergencies. If you have to put a limit on your bank account to say that I can't withdraw more than this much, do it. Just anything to keep you disciplined from spending too much money on unnecessary things.
But yeah, so there's this rule that the 100% of money that you have, you only own 70% of it. So maybe there's going to be the 10% obviously that our spiritual religious people we're going to put on the tithe, and then there's going to be now the 20% which you never ever touch. You forget it actually exists. You immediately you get your 100 kwacha, you'll be like, oh my god, I got paid 70 kwacha. Okay, what am I going to do with this right now?
Forget about the 30 kwacha. And that one is not to be touched.
Yeah, and you have to start this when you're really young, because as you get older, it's really hard to teach a dog new tricks.
Yeah,
it's really hard. So you have to discipline yourself while you are young. Believe me,
it is a habit.
Yeah, so no matter where you're getting this money from or anything, just have yourself in that mindset that only 70% is mine.
That's really good. Now, this also goes to the next point, speaking about money. And this point is, making money is good, but do not end up in a job that doesn't fulfill you. Now, before I get into details of that, it's okay to work 1, 2, 3 years if you're, just to establish yourself, make a bit of money here and there for your necessities, but don't stay in a job just because you need the money. And if it doesn't make you happy, because again, all these points are related, you're sabotaging your mental health. You're in a job that doesn't make you happy, you're going to be miserable, and you're just going to be thinking about the money. But what is that doing to you?
Yeah, and then you end up using alcohol or drugs to actually suppress all that, making yourself feel so horrible. And then at the end of the day, you're just like, you know what, my boss today, I just can't, I just need alcohol. And then the whole night is done. The next day again, you're
back, repeat.
Yeah, just like that, over and over and over and over. And then now you're even adding more issues to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, then you make something nice become bad.
Yeah, so just at the end of the day, be selfish. The 20s are a period when you're allowed to be selfish. Be selfish with yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health.
And your energy.
When you spend so much time investing in yourself, then you can open up to other things. And then once you are sure of yourself, you will find that life is sort of, sometimes life it's not smooth. It's got its ups and downs, but at least you're better able to handle difficult situations. Why? Because you are sure of yourself.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I know this video is a bit longer than my usual videos, but we couldn't have shortened it in any way.
Yeah.
All the points that we have raised are very important. So if you're a teenager, even if you're in your mid-20s, it's never too late. Just watch the whole video because there are points that will help you.
Yeah.
Trust me.
If it's too long, even play it on loud while you're washing your dishes, or in the morning when you're going to bath, almost like an affirmation, like I can do this, I just have to be myself today and all through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So please watch the whole video, take some tips, share it with a friend who might need it. And
Friend always needs it.
Yeah.
They always need this. Train a child before they go, not when they come back after they've been.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell your people now before it's too late, and tell yourself now before it's too late.
Also, do let me know in the comment section below what tips you found helpful, and if there's anything else that you think might be helpful, do let me know in the comment section below. Thanks once again. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on my social media platforms. That's Mwaka Mugala on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And do follow her as well.
Tandy at Tandy's Trend.
Tandy's Trend. She's got some great designs. So yeah, follow her. And I also want to thank AfriShop for dressing me, giving me this pretty dress, comfortable, and it's my favorite color, red. So thank you, AfriShop. Do download the app and shop. It's available on iOS as well as Android. Thank you once again. Till next time, take care.
This is me, whether you like it or not. Quick to talk, but you do not do a lot.